Hey folks, welcome back to another episode of Finding Data Friends. We are lucky enough to have found another data friend for the podcast. We must be getting near to the bottom of the list, right, Ben? That list that we started with.
Yeah, we're basically, I'm going to say another 180,000 episodes and we're done.
Perfect. We're getting there. We're getting there to meet all of our
So there
data
is a
friends.
number.
There is a number. But anyway, let's focus. Ed, thanks for joining us on the podcast today. Welcome. Do you want to tell people a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I live out in the frozen northlands of Albany, New York. People always just ask me, is it New York City? No. It's way further north. It's colder. It's more barren. It's kind of like the whole winter is coming thing. It's just kind of like that. I live here with my wife, my two sons. I never really sleep very much anymore. Love to bake, love to run, love to travel. Lots of things I love to do. Always busy, always running around, very rarely sitting still. That's who I am. People laugh at me for all these things, but occasionally they appreciate them too.
So what you're saying is by making you sit on that podcast with us, we kind of dragged you out of your comfort zone.
Yes. Like I go on vacation and everyone else wants to lie on a chair by a beach and not move. And I'm just like, what's the next thing I'm doing? Because this is stressful to me. Like literally lying on a beach for an hour on a bed, just enjoying the warmth is like stressful. I need to do things. And I get made fun of a lot for that. But when they want somebody to bring a drink, it's a little appreciated.
I agree with that.
Thanks for dragging me out of my comfort zone into a chair.
Well, we're glad that you joined us in the chair for just a little bit. It's only a short episode, so it won't be too painful. But let's start off by, do you want to tell us about your favorite data thing?
Sure. In general, data, honestly, my favorite thing is solving the mystery. Like data is this big amorphous thing, and I love finding whether it's like make this thing faster. Where do we put a petabyte of data? How do we make this data move faster from point A to B to C to D? Like whatever it is. I love solving the mystery. There's always a mystery. Like you think you solve them all, but there's always one more. Somebody brings you some query. It's 1,000 lines of T-SQL or something, and you say, "What is this?" And eventually you figure it out and you solve it, and it's like you're a detective. And that feeling never gets old, no matter how long I've been around. Like when I was a junior back in the day, making a query faster was fun. Honestly, now that I've been around for like a million years, it's still really fun to have that feeling of I solved or fixed the thing. Because not everything in life has that immediate feedback of like happy. Some things you have to wait for 5 or 10 or 20 years. Other things, it's like immediate, like yes. I love that feeling.
That's a really slow query that runs for 5 or 10 or 20 years.
Yeah, I'm sure it's out there still running. I don't want to fix it.
Maybe there's a trigger involved, just saying.
Oh, no.
Or triggers calling triggers, recursive triggers.
No, well, at a 20-year runtime, well, first of all, it is impressive that your server has not booted ever since.
True. Impressive uptime. We'll take it.
They always have those records out there, like the Linux server that has run the longest. It's been up for like 15, 20 years, and they always maintain those records as like important things. But I'm always just thinking, like, have they patched that? Can I just hack it? Like, what's going on?
They haven't.
But
if it has been up for 20 years, they have not patched it. That's what I can tell you without even touching the machine. But then again, those machines that have that super long uptime are usually Linux or Unix machines. It's been a while since I've seen a Windows server that had an uptime of that many years. Just saying.
And do you really want that?
There's also that. Jess, I think we're at least 2 for 2 here with our guests. Last week we had Akshata, who was like, hey, my favorite feature is basically writing SQL queries, and Ed going along a very similar. And even just before that, when Julia was with us, who was also talking about, she was talking about some new stuff that I had no idea what she was talking about, but also it was like, well, integration service is also cool too. I know what that is. So nice.
I think we're getting smarter.
Or we just inviting people that love older stuff, but potatoes.
I love new stuff, but honestly, timeless things are also nice too. We sometimes forget that there's like timeless skills and features that they've been around, they'll be around. We're always going to love them. Like people are like, SQL's going, no, SQL's not going away. SQL's going to be around. It's going to be around for a bit.
I mean, even the fancy new stuff like Fabric has a SQL endpoint. So if Fabric has a SQL endpoint, I'm going to make the statement that SQL is probably going to be here to stay.
You heard
Maybe
it here,
it'll even
folks.
outlive us.
Did I just make an official product announcement? Is that I don't know.
Maybe.
Are you looking under NDA or anything? Is that okay?
Yeah.
We don't know.
Is this where I bring in that joke? Yeah, they told us at MVP Summit that SQL is here to stay. Because what now if somebody at MVP Summit really made that statement just for fun, and now I've quoted them, and now I'm out just for the joke. This is how much I appreciate this podcast. Just saying.
People may never see
End
this
careers in one fell swoop.
Throw it out.
There's that. No, but I can definitely relate to the good in the old things. As much fun as all these new things are sometimes to play with around, but the newest and shiniest toy, and I think I've said that a couple of times on the shows, but the newest and shiniest toys are not always the best tool to attack an issue. Let's just say it like that.
True.
They're fun to learn, but everyone loves to dive in head first and be like, I'm going to adopt the new thing and apply it to everything. And that could be fun, but it may not be the best choice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing also with tools that have been around for like 20-ish years is that they have been tested by customers and everyone for 20-ish years. So
yeah,
I'm going to make another very bold statement. They might be a little bit more stable. I'm not sure if that was NDA either, but
yeah. There's
just
way
lots
more
of testing and production, right?
Well, there's also that. But a feature that you've tested in production for 20 years will still be more stable and reliable than that new shiny toy that just came out of preview or is even in preview.
The truth is that we've always been testing in production. We just hopefully test in dev first before we test in production.
What is a test system? Things I don't understand for 500, please, Alex. But anyways. So, we've learned about you that sitting in a chair is not your thing. I'm just going to play this a bit slow, just to make it a bit longer. I was
going to say, like, have you froze? You can see him sweating, like, come on!
No, I'm just...
killing me here, man!
Ben doing mean Ben things. No, but our second question is always, what is your favorite? And this is the hard, because there's one thing of being just like, well, I cannot sit still. I always have to do something. But out of all these somethings, what is your favorite thing to do that is not data related or data adjacent?
I really enjoy baking as a hobby. I love baking cookies, cakes. I love enjoying those things too. Like eating home baked things is really, really fun to me. Like making things, because it always makes people happy. Like my wife's birthday is today, and it's a leap year, which makes it kind of unusual. And so I made this fancy Lisbon chocolate cake with this like flourless chocolate bottom and some fancy chocolate ganache. Took hours to make, and then there's some cocoa-y topping on it, and it's gonna probably be really good, I hope. But like doing all that work and making that happen, and then looking at it and be like, this is really pretty. And then eating it, like, this tastes really good. And other people are smiling and happy. That's fun. That's fun. It has nothing to do with data at all, though it is very much like kind of, procedure-based skill, I guess, baking. Lots of science involved if you wanted to. But I've always enjoyed it a lot. It's a fun hobby. It goes completely counter to my hobby of running. So I have two hobbies that run against each other. One either sabotages
that complement each other.
I need the energy to run, and if I don't have that, that's how we should look at it. You're right. Much better.
I really enjoy baking, but more the eating portion of the baking. I'm not so good at the baking portion of the baking.
We'll be good friends then. I love baking, and then I'm like, I have this giant cake that feeds 25 people, and I can't eat it all myself. What do? I need friends.
Ben, Ed the podcast. Let's go.
I'll be right there in a moment. Where do you live again? Oh, oops.
Well,
New York City.
It doesn't matter where we live. We're going to be there just because... Yep. I still don't understand what you said with regards to it. I got a cake for 25 people and I cannot eat it all by myself, because that statement literally made no sense. But then again, you seem a bit confused, because as far as I know, your wife's birthday is February 29th, whereas today is April 19th. So you're apparently 7 weeks late. You've been sitting in that chair for a while.
Can't versus won't is a very big challenge. But you are right. Today versus when this ends up airing is very different, and so that's gonna be confusing. This is like time travel. Oh gosh, time travel makes sci-fi so weird. Makes it so weird.
It might make sci-fi weird, but at the same time, sci-fi would be pretty boring without time travel.
It's true, but I always ask the dumb question of like, well, if they could time travel, why didn't they also do this? And then other people are like, you're ruining the canon. Shut up. Stop it, please. Stop. Okay. I won't go there.
Yeah, I mean,
you're a time turner. No.
Fantasy is kind of don't try to bring and mix in logic into all of what's happening here.
Just enjoy it.
Because otherwise I have questions about The Walking Dead, but it's not coming together as I thought.
Zombies.
Yeah.
I've never seen that show.
Yeah, I've stopped watching it at some
zombies,
point just because it got too, I don't know. At some point, I kind of felt, as it is with many shows that get past that 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever seasons, it's just like, okay, I kind of see that you're still making money of this, so you keep spinning that wheel, but I don't really feel like
it's done.
I think when a lot of shows run out of content, they turn into being a soap opera, and then like either you like a romantic something or you don't, and it's not for everybody. And I think when it turns into a soap opera, a lot of people that are like more sci-fi-ish fans kind of tune out. It's harder to watch.
Yeah, almost all the shows that ended at some point, I was like, well, you should have just stopped like 1 or 2 seasons ago. With the exception of Friends, because the final season was awesome.
True.
Search for more money.
There are a few shows that I'm like, one more season, come on. But you're right. If they did one more season, maybe we would hate it, and then we would have been...
Exactly. And that's probably what would have happened, because if you think of what happened, if you've never seen Friends, spoiler alert, but I mean... they got the babies, they got married, Ross and everybody was just like, okay.
Oh, I've seen it, it's fine.
If not, I don't feel bad spoiling a show that ended in like, I'm going to say 2009-ish, 2008, 2009, I think that's when the show ended. So if you haven't seen it by now, you probably never will. Or it doesn't matter that I've just spoiled this to you. A part of the fact that it's basically evident from season 1, episode 1, that this is how it will all go down. I mean, I've seen
one of my favorite episodes of Friends is the trifle episode where Rachel makes the trifle that is half trifle, half shepherd's pie, which is the perfect segue into our final question of you love baking, maybe you love trifles. What is your favorite food, and what might you like to make for me and Ben?
I am divided right down the middle on favorite food. On one side, I love spicy stuff. Hot wings, a spicy curry of some sort, those kinds of things. Nashville hot chicken, something very, very mouth-burningly spicy. I have a true appreciation for that. But then on the other side, I love the baked stuff. So I kind of often compliment them, and I'll have something insanely spicy and then cool down with, a brownie or something. And so there is no one favorite. There really isn't. But those two areas, like anybody who knows me knows I like those things, and they're always buying me hot sauces or encouraging me to bake something new or giving me ideas. It's kind of almost like, taking advantage of me. They're like, oh, this recipe looks really good. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. What do you think? Like a week later, I'm giving it to them, and I'm like, wait a second. I see what you did here.
I
enjoyed it. You exploited me, but I liked it anyway, so it's cool. It's cool.
It's called Stockholm Syndrome. I have 2 questions about that brownie. Is it a warm brownie, and is there vanilla ice cream with it?
You're on the right path here. A warm brownie with ice cream is like a very, very quintessential dessert. But I'm making new things all the time. So if ever you happen to be around here, or I have the opportunity to bake for other people, you may end up trying something fun, because it's a fun hobby, fun one.
I'm in for the baking trying. I'm not in for the spicy food trying, because my spice threshold is like lemon and herb spice level.
I'll warn you, like my family has learned the hard way. If there's like a bowl that I left out with something in it, don't try it. Like one of the best things that ever happened to me was like years and years ago at an old job, a long time ago, I had like brought in some spicy chili. When I say spicy, I mean like smoke pouring from your face spicy. And like somebody took my lunch and thought, oh, I'm going to eat this lunch. Yay, free food. And I found out who it was, and they never did it again because they were like in the kitchen screaming. And you shouldn't. It's theft. You shouldn't do it. You learn the hard way. And it was a great experience. They were like trying to go to HR on me, and I'm like, nah. I have my name on it. You knew better. You're a fool. And this is funny. All at once. Amazing. So it's like a defense mechanism too. I can guard my my personal property this way better
by spicing it.
Yeah, there you go.
Interesting.
My sandwich. My sandwich.
I dare you. Try it. Go for it. Let me know what you think.
Another Friends reference here for sure. Oh dear.
It's like that. It's a good defense mechanism. Nothing else.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Have you ever made brownies with some spice? Like they make chocolate with like chili in, right?
I believe that chocolate, cayenne pepper, and cinnamon is an excellent combination. And not too much spice. Just a little bit of spice, like a Mexican hot chocolate, Mexican chocolate flavor. And I've always loved that flavor. And I've made cookies with it. I made ice cream with it. Ice cream, by the way, a spice cream I call it, is wonderful.
Ice cream.
And you would think that it's like going to burn your mouth, and it only does a little, but then it's sweet, so it kind of works out. But I'm a huge fan of that flavor. I love it. It's not a fad. It's not a gimmick. It's really good if done right. It really is.
They used to be a place. Sorry, go ahead.
Spicy margaritas. Spicy margaritas are great. Like a spicy mixed drink can be good too. If you're again the sweet and the spicy go nicely together, sweet and salty. But yeah.
Oh, there used to be a place in New York. I think at Chelsea Market. Something which and all they had is brownies. I think they had like 30 different.
I've been there. I know what you're talking about. It's like Fat Witch brownies, right?
Yes.
I have been there and had the brownies, and they were good. And if you go after 5 o'clock, they're half price.
Oh.
No.
You can tell I've had a lot of brownies.
Whenever I make it back there, I hope they're still around, because last time I've been to Manhattan was pre-COVID, and usually those smaller shops were unfortunately struggling a bit more. But yeah, fingers crossed. Please, Mrs. Fadwitch, please still be there. That's not even the weirdest thing I've ever said on this show. But anyways,
totally normal. Totally normal.
Jess is like, this is a 4 out of 10. This is nothing.
You could do better.
We're not weird enough. We're not weird enough.
There's that. Anyways, before things do get weird, we're also past that 15-minute mark, so I'm almost having to push that time over warning button on my soundboard. But I haven't pushed that in quite a while. Anyways,
you forgot about it, I think.
It's about time we do that again at some point.
The numbers 15 and 50 sound very similar, and people often mix them up,
Especially people beyond 50, that's what I'm saying. But anyways, again, thank you so much for joining us, Ed. This was fun. Glad you also know the Fat Witch, so we have another mutual friend.
Can we get the Fat Witch on the show?
I think she's very much data adjacent, so hell yeah.
But there must be brownie data, right? How many chocolate chips?
Ingredient purchases. It's kind of like AdventureWorks.
It would be so much cooler if AdventureWorks would be making brownies and cookies rather than bicycles and stuff. But anyways, again, digressing. Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Jess. Thank you, everyone. And we see you all again next week. Bye.
Bye, folks.
Take care. Thanks for having me.